What's going on YouTube, it's AyoRichie here, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you about another underrated situation that I've managed to find out. It's kind of crazy. I've literally just come across it like a couple minutes ago, and basically I was experimenting with a new string, with Leo's new string in Tekken 8 424, because obviously it's +7, and I happened to basically use back 1+2 like afterwards, just because it's I-17. And I wanted to kind of, obviously I was gonna start using this as like a, kind of like a G-clef, kind of, not a G-clef, sorry, a laser scraper, kind of like Devil Gens. So obviously you can do the 2 hits, or you can do all 3 hits. Second hit -14, third hit -13, but it's obviously a mix-up to punish. So obviously you don't want to abuse it, but it's one of those things where you can kind of catch people off guard with it. But then I also found this out when, you know, kind of just testing, that this is guaranteed if someone retaliates with a jab. So okay, as you can see, get guaranteed 1-4 afterwards. I guess sometimes the trade can create too much pushback, but yeah, I thought this was really strong because obviously it's a frame trap. People like to retaliate with jabs sometimes, so that can definitely come into play. But then also, if it doesn't come into play, it's a frame trap, so if they do anything slower, you get the first 2 hits of back 1+2 for free. So, and also, if they sidewalk, so hold on a sec, if they sidewalk, the second part of the move will always track them. So I think that's a very strong situation to have. People don't just randomly, you know, at -7 just sidestep launch. So it didn't even let me then. But like this, like there will be people that do this, but this is very advanced. Like this is super high level tech. So I think this situation here definitely needs to be added to like your gameplay, because if you do manage to get that trade and you get the guaranteed 1-4, you can safely go for a, you know, a mix. You can go for the 1+2, go for the 1-2 heat engager. Like, you have some options. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool find. Honestly, the more I kind of just go around the new moves and lab with Leo, the more stuff I'm finding. So forward 2-4 in general is just like the most goated string they've given Leo. Like, it's -1 on block, -1 on block, whether you crouch dash or you don't crouch dash. So like, the fact that this string as a 14 frame punish can give you like a situation where you can get a guaranteed follow-up if it trades with a jab after back 1+2, as well as being able to, you know, complete the string, bait parries, because obviously the last hit is a punch, so against characters with strong parries at the end, they might try and parry you. But then also, you can delay it for so long, so some parries you might even be able to beat just by delaying. You can also do it immediately. Obviously I'm not too sure about how the parry situation works if I do it immediately. I haven't labbed that just yet. I guess I can do it right now. Okay, so yeah, you can Sabaki. But let's see if slower parries work. Yeah, so slower parries won't work, but parries that are I2 start up, like Leo Sabaki, will work. So just bear that in mind. Obviously if you delay it, then obviously the Sabaki's not going to work as well. So if I delay it, as you can see, I can get around the Sabaki. So pretty interesting to note. Like, this is one situation, but this one situation covers so much. Like, it's so strong. So back 1+2 being a single input now, way easier to implement than in Tekken 7, because the input used to be back forward 1+2. So even though this is a punishable string, no matter what part of it you use, like back 1+2 is like -24, 26, something around that range. This is -14, so some characters obviously can launch it, and then the follow-up -13. And like, if you do land this string, it does a lot of damage as well. So yeah, back 1+2 finding some usage, pretty crazy. This is not a string I'd thought I'd be using in Tekken 8, but I'm definitely going to be experimenting with it a bit more. Forward 2-4 as a punish. Honestly, like, obviously we had forward 2-2 35 damage. Back to 1+2, heat engager. But I think now is definitely the time to start using 4-2-4 as a punish, because the situations after it are so good. If I do down 4, the opponent can't backdash it, can't sidestep it, none of that. The best they can do is a panic move or something, you know, like a Kempo or something like that. So the situations, I feel like you mixing up with those two moves is like it's almost a no-brainer really, because there's not a defensive thing that the opponent can do to get around it besides evasive moves, which obviously you can make reads on, so it's not the end of the world. But yeah, situations like if I do 4-2-4 into down 4-2, opponents can backdash it and stuff. So I was thinking like, what would be an option that really pins them down? Down 1 can be stepped, down 2 can be stepped. So down forward 3 is obviously a no-brainer, you know, homing mid. If you want to keep it safe, you always have down forward 3 as well. So if you do this 4-2-4 into down forward 3, you have that as well. And then you also have, you know, your crouch dash options as well. You can just go for while standing 3-1, safe while standing 4, or you can just kind of just mess about with it. And obviously the string jails, so you can kind of loop it into itself and then start going for QCF 2-1 and things like that. Like, it's endless the options you can go for really. I think because QCF 2 isn't like a counter hit button anymore, that's the only reason why I would say like going for this is not a bad option, because, you know, on counter hit, if they do press or if they jab, you get a guaranteed 1-4. If they press just so I don't leave out any details with the whole
Richie Olisanya.
Oh, I just got jump scared by my follow alert. In future videos I think I'll be turning that off. Yeah, so back 1+2 after 4-2-4. Obviously it's a unique situation because there wasn't really a situation in Tekken 7 where we would be +7. Like, not that I can think of. I can't think of a situation that left us +7. So trading back 1+2 at those frames obviously rewards us with a I-12, which is guaranteed, which is pretty cool to note. A lot of characters have situations like this, so it's nice that Leo has one as well. The thing that's so cool about it is, like, obviously it will be retaliation, it will track them if they sidewalk. If they sidestep and then press a button late, obviously you get the second hit and the third hit guaranteed on counter hit. So you're getting free damage, and then obviously you're checking the opponent's knowledge at the same time. So, you know, it covers quite a lot of layers of defense, offense. It's pretty cool, honestly. I definitely think people should try it out, see what they think about it. If it doesn't work for them, it doesn't work for them. This isn't something that I've, you know, gone into ranked and, you know, messed about with yet. I just kind of found it in practice mode, but I'm seeing the usability of it just from like being in practice mode. So I'm definitely gonna put it to the test myself at like Tekken King ranks, Tekken Emperor, these higher ranks. I'm gonna see how it works. And yeah, I just wanted to add that in just so that you guys are fully aware of, you know, what this string is actually like what we are utilizing here. Something to note about back 1+2 string, the final hit no longer wall splats, so unfortunately that will be deemed a nerf in Tekken 8. So that's the one thing that is a bit lackluster about the string. Obviously I will mention obviously the things that are good about the string, but then obviously, you know, the things that aren't so great. So obviously I've shown you like what it can do for you, but then obviously the fact that it doesn't wall splat isn't the best thing in the world. Like, if you're at the wall, this is the animation you'll get, so you get a knockdown. In which case, obviously you will have Oki options, you know, feel free to go for basically whatever you want. Down for 2+3, QCF 3+4, all of this stuff is very good to have because get up kicks are not as punishing in this game as they were in Tekken 7. So you don't have to worry about getting, you know, randomly counter hit launched by a get up kick or anything like that. So the string, if it was a wall splat, it would be absolutely ridiculous. So I can understand why the fact why it doesn't. So, and then obviously go for something ground hitting, you know, maybe an orbital if they just stay there. Like, your options are there. But the string's very good. It's obviously good in combos as well. That's a no-brainer. Like, you'll be able to get the wall after, you know, usually 7 hits. So this string in particular is pretty cool, but the fact I just wanted to pair it with this string just because it's +7 and obviously this is 17 frames and obviously it becomes a frame trap. If people backdash, this string will always reach them, so that's an important thing in this game, having reach, because like if I was to use my frames and go for a down forward 2 and then get backdash launched, I would obviously, it's not good, is it? So I want something that the opponent's gonna have to deal with basically. So back 1+2 can definitely work in that way. Back 1+2 was recently nerfed, so that's not a string that we can kind of just, you know, just always opt for. People react very randomly to it, you know, sometimes I'll go into block and then get launched and stuff like that. But against the character where I know they can't launch me for doing this, you know, I will happily just kind of throw this out just to kind of test their knowledge. So this is something you can kind of just keep there, like just keep for like, I don't know, the end of a round, or you know, if you need to, I don't know, mount a comeback or something, you just want to throw something out. This string could be that string that kind of gets you out of danger and like, you know, starts, you know, the momentum. You just landed this string and then you run up, you know, the Oki's in your favor. You can bait people's spring kicks and stuff, you know, be at a range where you feel like they might spring kick. So it leaves you at a quite a nice distance from your opponent. So yeah, that's basically everything on forward 2-4 and back 1+2. Let me know what strings you guys are utilizing a lot. Obviously after the back 1+2 change, we've had to utilize it a little bit less. It's still an amazing string, but obviously the usability of it has obviously gone down a tiny bit. Obviously back 3-1 and stuff like that was cool, like those changes were nice. But yeah man, I'm just kind of experimenting with the character, trying to figure out what situations are really strong. You know, this game is a 1st to 2 in tournaments, so you need to have these situations down where, you know, how can I throw off my opponent? Otherwise, you know, it's going to be quite difficult to kind of overwhelm your opponent or like, you know, catch them off guard, because it's a game where people can see your replays, people know what you're doing if they really want to, if they, you know, do their research. So right about now we're just kind of figuring out everything that we can kind of put into one, you know, game plan. Very soon after this video I want to bring out a advanced guide. So we're gonna look at obviously everything that makes Leo offensively, competitively. What are the strengths, what are the things we need to avoid. So look out for that video. I know obviously you guys have been saying I've been helping a lot, so I'm very happy to hear that. And yeah, if you like the video, please leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.